Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for marketing tips based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we will be talking about different ways you can send messages through the Keller Williams command platform. So we're going to be looking at emails specifically. I know a lot of you guys came back from last week, which is great because last week we talked about how to build an email template. So if you missed that class and you need to learn that, go ahead and check out the channel for our previous video. There's a whole playlist on emails, templates, how to build them, and that kind of stuff. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared. Let's see here. Can I just get a thumbs up or a yes in the chat? Can everybody see my command screen? Okay, I see thumbs ups. Perfect. Okay, so this is one of the emails we were playing around with last week. I made a template for a buyer profile saying, hey, I have buyers looking near you. These are some of the house details that they are looking for: square footage, prices, towns, all of that type of stuff. So we made this awesome template, and now we need to get it out to our people, right? So there's a couple of different ways to do that. And I just wanted to pull up this email to remind you what we worked on last week. Here is the preview of kind of how the clients will see it, or whoever you're sending it to, the recipients. Okay, so that's what we're going to be sending out today. I'm going to open a new tab just so we can have that open if we need to get back to it. But we're just going right into command on the dashboard. So agent.kw.com, just logged right in. And the first way I'm going to show you how to send this is through a bulk email campaign. It is important to know that to send these emails out to anybody in with command, you do need to have those contacts already in command. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So if anybody is newer and to using the platform and you're not sure all of the things you can do with contacts, I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat right now a playlist about all sorts of things with contacts, how to import them, what information you can add, how you can group them together and use tags to quickly identify a specific group of people that you want to send, hey, a bulk email to. So I put that little playlist in the chat too, so feel free to go check that out if you need a refresher or are learning it for the first time. Okay, so with that said, we are going to go into campaigns. And quick reminder, if you click in the top left corner, the red square, that's going to open up all the names of our different applets. So that megaphone button, that is campaigns. So this is going to be a one bulk message. So you can send it to a whole bunch of people at one time, but all you're doing is sending the email. There's no other steps. It's just one and done. That's what we're doing with campaigns. That's your bulk messaging platform. So now that I'm in campaigns, you can see we have lots of different types we can send. We're going to go over to the top right and find our create button. So create campaign. And then today we're talking about emails. So we're just going to choose that email option, and it will prompt us to pick a name for what we want to call our campaign, pick our goal, and how we want to run this campaign. So none of the stuff on this screen will affect what happens with your email. However, it will be really helpful for you to track what you've been doing if you need to come back and see what's been working, what types of emails have I sent out, that type of stuff. So we will call this buyer profile. We'll just call it test. And then I'm going to say that this is to attract listings, right? We're sending out buyer information, looking to find listings to sell them. I am using command email, so I will not leave command today. If you have a MailChimp platform set up, you do have the opportunity to connect that through command. You would have to have that set up in settings already and do a little bit of setup with MailChimp before we did this. So we're sticking just with command today. So I put in the title of my campaign. I selected that I'm going to be using this to attract listings, and I will be using command email. If you haven't set up your command email yet, you can also do that in settings inside command. So that's just click your name and then hit settings in the dropdown, and you can connect your command email that way. You do get 5,000 emails a month through command for free. All right, so now that I've hit create, Noel says, are the goal tabs editable? No, they are not. So we can, do you mean, let me go back a page. Like, so now that I've opened my campaign that I want to send, up in the top right here, I can say, oh, I hit listings, but really I want talent. Is that what you meant? I see him nodding. Okay. So yeah, I want to attract a listing. So if I had hit a button and I hit the wrong one, you can update it right here. But you can't, the ones that showed up on the screen on that little pop-up, those are the only options we have. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now that I'm in here, we're really just gonna scroll down here and fill in the information that it's asking of us. So here's my campaign name. I just put that in on that pop-up screen. So if I didn't like that, I could update it here, right? Updated name, I can change that. Again, nobody sees that campaign name except you. That's just for tracking purposes. Here I have the account that it's sending from. This is linked to your command mail. So if you have not set that up, again, you'll just come to your name in the top right, hit settings and look for the command mail options, and you can set up the email that's connected to. Below that, we have our recipient list. This is where it gets fun. So I mentioned you have to have your contacts in the system to be able to send these emails to people. So you can see, and when I click the drop down, I have some lists already created. If this is your first time doing this, you won't have any lists, and that's okay. All you have to do, I'm sure you guessed it, is hit create list. So from here, I have access to all of my contacts that are already in command. And the first thing it wants me to do is give a name to this list. And I can scroll through and all of my contacts, I can scroll all the way down. You can see I have another 225 to go. So I believe this screen will show you 100 at a time. You can scroll all the way down and just hit load more, scroll down, load more. If you want to see all of them, that's all you have to do. Now, if you know specifically a handful of people you want to put on this list, I could type in, let's see if Christy's in here. So I typed in Christy, and this is, so Christian has Christy in it, so does Christina, so does Christy. So I could select all. I can just select the one name that I want. That's one way to go name by name. What gets really handy is if you have your accounts, your contacts already tagged, I can use this tag feature here. So I can come to tags, and these are all of my tags that I've created. So for today, we're talking about buyers that are looking to find properties. So maybe you have tags based on neighborhoods. This email, if I switch over real quick, can remind you, I was looking, my buyers are looking in Darien, Lombard, Oakbrook Terrace, and another Darien or Downers Grove, Wheaton, Glen Ellen. So maybe I have all of these towns as tags in my database. I personally don't, but you would be able to find those tags right here. So I'm just going to use these because I know there's some people in this one. And I'm going to take out Christy's name. And so these are all of the people associated with the tag that I chose. So I chose the tag Club 14. So here's everybody that had that tag. So if you have a tag of Lombard, all of your people in Lombard should be tagged with Lombard. And then you can choose that tag here and hit select all. And now I've just selected 29 people that I know are in that target that I want to send them to. Does that make sense to everybody? Do I need to re-go over that? I see some nods.
Amy,
Yes.
when you're talking about using the tag Lombard, is that those living in Lombard or those looking in Lombard?
Now, it could be either or. You guys need to define that. The tags are 100% customizable. That's a great question, Patty. In this case, we would want people living in Lombard because we're looking for properties in Lombard for our buyers. But maybe you have two tags. Maybe you have live Lom and buy Lom or something, right? You can make the tags for different reasons. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely. So now that I have selected all of my people, I could add more. I could look for another tag and I could say agent. I don't know if I'm using that tag. So I have lots of people in here as well. Anywho, so you can add more tags. You can add people. You can search by email if you know email. So there's lots of stuff you can play around with there. I'm just going to choose that one tag for now, my 29 people, and hit confirm. And now you can see my list has been named buyer profile class. And so now that is a list that always exists. So if I ever want to pull that same list again, when I come back and make another email, all I have to hit is my drop down here, and I can switch it to whichever, I don't have anything on that one. I can switch it to whichever list I want to use. Now, if you have people that, let's say you have this list set up and somebody else qualifies to be on that list, you will need to update that list with the new people.
That was what I was just going to ask. Does
read your
someone,
mind.
it doesn't get added automatically if you, okay.
No,
So you
you will
need to
have to
do
create
that
it.
manually. Okay, thanks.
Yep. So you can see here, I put like a date on this one, 12/7/21. Here's a 12/28. So I have a lot of dates in mine, so you can see when you created the list. So that's a little tip that I do. So there's your list. Then the next thing, again, these are grayed out. This will all be something that's set when you create your command email. I guess when you set it up, you don't have to create it, but that's where this is telling us who it's sending from. It'll say it's coming from Amy Stack and what is the reply to email address. So if they hit reply to the email, this is the email address it will come to. And I can hit edit and it will take me to settings to update that. So we're not going to do the updating. I just wanted you to see how that would work. So that's how I want it set up. And just like a traditional email, you can put your subject line here. Oh, you know, whatever you want to put it in there as. And then we have our lovely content section. So we built our email. I'm going to hit select design. And this is opening all of the templates that I've already created in Command. So I don't have to create it from scratch. Here's the buyer profile one I showed you at the beginning of class today. I'm going to select that. It does give me the opportunity to come in and edit it. It's just loading. Zoom makes it a little slow. Let's try refreshing that. Oh, okay. Don't refresh it in the middle. I made a mistake. I'll do that really quick again. Now you guys get a refresh. Put your name in, select your goal, hit create. Let's see, all of that looks good. Still has my list saved. See, I didn't have to recreate that list. And then we're going to hit select design. All right.
Amy,
So
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I came up with a design, say in Canva, can I upload that and use it, or is it only the ones I've created through Command?
When you say created a design, do you mean like this graphic, or do you mean, because I don't, so you can upload your graphics into the Command email templates from anywhere. You can upload images from anywhere. Yep.
Thank you.
So I did make this one in Command, but you could have made it in Publisher, in Canva, and you know, whatever your favorite graphic generating platform is. So at this screen, yes, I chose a template that was already in existence, but I do have the opportunity to update it. So let's say I didn't want this image. I could just come in and hit edit, just like we were doing if we were building the email from scratch, like we talked about last week. And then your question about uploading a new image, you could just hit replace right here, hit add images, and upload a file from your computer. And you can swap that out. I'm going to leave mine how it is. But you do have the opportunity to come in here and update, and you can hit your eyeball as a preview just to get one more look before you send that out. Make sure everything looks good. So I don't want to change anything. I'm going to hit save and exit in the top right. And we will be able to see that that email is now showing in the preview on the right-hand side of our scheduler. And you can see that the 6th option, content, now says update instead of to provide that design. So assuming everything looks good and you're ready to go, you have a few options. You can hit send now and it will send to your list right now. You can hit schedule and you get a little calendar. You can pick the day and time you want it to go out. And if you're not really 100% ready to send it, you can hit save as draft and it will save and let you exit. And now you can see buyer profile test. There is my draft. So that is one way to send one email to multiple people at the same time through Command. Okay. You guys ready to see the other way to do it? All right, so I'm going to leave campaigns. Now we're going to go to Smart Plans. Smart Plans is the 4th icon on the left. Smart plans, you can do a whole bunch of stuff with. I do have lots of tutorials and classes on this in my YouTube channel. You can add task reminders, you can add auto texting, you can add all sorts of things in here and put delays in and say, send an email today, wait a week, send a text message. So if you want to learn about that, go check those out, or keep an eye out for my classes because I teach on those pretty regularly. But one of the things you can do with smart plans is send out an email. So I'm going to create a new one from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and hit create up in the top right again. And we're going to again call this buyer profile. And I have not created something called buyer profile before. So the beauty of this is that I can make this smart plan one time. And if I have new buyers, you know, in a week that I want to send a similar email to or out about on their behalf, I can pull up the same smart plan, update my email and my recipients and call it a day. I don't have to recreate the whole smart plan from scratch. So I'm going to hit apply. So I'm just naming my smart plan right now. So we're totally from scratch. This is 100% blank. On the left-hand side, we'll see the plan that we're building. On the right-hand side, this is where we can see the options we have to add over to the left. So we're talking about emails today. Just going to hit send email. Okay. And some people are familiar with smart plans and they know that when you put in the email here, you have the opportunity to type away and you can send a simple email, just like you would from Gmail. Okay. I'm going to put my subject in. Now we have that beautiful template that we made in Designs. I don't want to send a simple email. I want my images in there. I want it to look pretty and have my header and footer and all my legal information. So right here, I have the option that says email type and I can hit Designs. And then just like we saw when we were sending that one-time bulk message, I can go ahead and hit select design, takes me to my library. I'm going to click buyer profile. We'll hit got it. Again, it's going to give me that opportunity to edit anything. I know this is good to go. So I'm going to hit save. We're going to load. And then I'm going to hit the X. Oh, it gives me save changes twice. I always like to hit save because I'm anal about that stuff. But when you hit the X, it gives you save changes too. Now you can see it's populated in that section. And let's say you clicked the wrong design or you do want to come back and edit it. You have these three little dots at the bottom right-hand corner of your design. You can click that. You can edit, preview, select a new design, or totally remove it. So you've got a nice little menu of options there. And this is where you can send just one email. Now, let's say we're going to switch gears a little bit. This one in particular is a buyer profile email, but let's say this is a newsletter and you want to send your newsletter out every single month, right? Maybe you want to send that same, if you're sending a newsletter, you want it to go to the same people probably. Maybe you need to add a few people each month. But what happens is when you hit your add people, I haven't hit save, so it won't let me hit it just yet. But when you add your people to a smart plan, that list is always associated with that smart plan. So I don't have that drop down like I did in the bulk email. However, if I have people receiving an email newsletter, there's a chance that somebody might want to unsubscribe, right? If I send it as a smart plan and somebody unsubscribes and I use my same smart plan the next month, the system knows they've unsubscribed from that plan. They don't want to receive that letter anymore. If you do it as a bulk email, it doesn't know that it's the same thing going out again. So there's a chance that they will still get that email. So using the smart plans is a really good way to ensure that if somebody unsubscribes, you're not going to get them mad at you. You're not going to get in trouble. So that's why I like to send them through smart plans. I see a question came up. Was there a video you have on how to create templates in your library? Oh, so Jessica, yes, this is what we did last week. It feels like yesterday. So it's actually my most recent video on my YouTube channel right now. And I do have a whole playlist on creating email templates and how to use the different features. So if you look, I think it's called Command Your Emails is the name of that playlist. So that'll help you with that. All right. Good question. Okay, so I've built my smart plan. I've just done a one-step. This is the easiest thing you can do in a smart plan is have a one-step one. So once I have my email in there, I'm just going to hit save. I could also hit save in the top right. It will do the same thing. Now from this screen, I do have the opportunity to add my contacts. There's a few ways you can do this, but up next to save, there's a button that says add contact. And again, I can search by name, or I can search by tags. We'll see, agent, yeah, no agent. I don't know what tags I'm using, you guys. I don't have buyers. Let's see who has some March caps. There we go. So I just hit my tags. Everybody that came up with that March cap came up. I can hit select all. And then I can hit add to smart plan. I can also look for another tag. Let's pick another month. I can hit select all again. And now you can see both of my tags have been selected. And then I can hit add to smart plan. And when you set up smart plans, you have the opportunity again to send right now. Send at a following date. So with smart plans, you only get the date option. You won't get the time option. Just be aware of that. Or I can stagger. So in our case with this buyer profile, you would want to send them all right away. But let's say you're sending out something that you don't want. Maybe you're asking to receive information back from them and you don't want to be flooded and inundated with a whole bunch of responses at the same time. You can hit stagger and you can say, I want to send 2 a day. I want to send 10 a day. And that's what the stagger feature is. So for our application today, I would recommend just using send all, but that is a nice feature to know about. Once you hit confirm, that will go out. So I'm not going to send that to those people. So you would hit confirm and it would send. Any questions on that? I know that was just emails we were talking about. So the nice thing about the smart plans is that you can add extra steps. So let's say you also wanted to send a text message. I could come over to the right-hand side, hit send SMS message, and I can send a text message through the system. The only way the system will be able to automatically send that text message is if you've signed up for Twilio. So you can connect to that through the marketplace in Command, but it will allow you to send out automated text messages. And when somebody replies, it will come in through your Command mobile app as well, and you can reply to them right through your phone. All right, so that is sending emails. Let's go ahead and save this one. And I did say, oh, I missed, I got it. Oh, I'm going to delete this one step here. I'm going to hit save. Okay, so we talked about sending in bulk. We talked about sending as a smart plan, and that offers that safe unsubscribe option. And I did tell you I was going to show you some analytics and how to find out who's opening your emails, how many went through, did any bounce? So to do that, you can get that information for either of the methods I just showed you. But you come over to reports. So we'll click that red square in the top left and come down to that little bar graph. It says reports. All right, so on reports here, I'm on my dashboard. If I go all the way up to the top near the left, there's a reports button. There's a goals button. Then we go over, there's lead routing, and what do you know? Emails. So we're going to hit emails. And I'm just going to switch to an earlier month so you guys can get a better view of statistics here. Here we go. So you can see I only used 112 of my emails. Remember, I said you get 5,000 a month for free. You can always upgrade that if you need to. And all of mine were orange, which means I sent all of mine through smart plans. So if you used campaigns, that first option I showed you, that would be purple. So it will track the different ways you've sent things as well. And if you scroll down a little bit, it's going to show you how many were sent, 112, how many were delivered. 100% of mine were delivered, which is great. How many were opened? 76 of my 112 were opened. Cool. How many people clicked on links? 12 of them. How many people replied? 2 of them. How many unsubscribed? 1. So I get all of those details, and you can take it to the next level. You can actually hit view details, and let's see who was that person that unsubscribed. We've got a smart plan unsubscribed. Well, these are all smart plans. So there we go. We have one person unsubscribed there. Can also see who replied. So here are the people that replied to one of my smart plans. And I can do that month by month. So if I come over into February, obviously we're not quite as far into February as having a whole month back there, but I've still sent a lot of emails. You can see here. And let's go to replied here again. So now you can see the exact emails, you can see how it was sent and what the email subject was that they replied to. And if you have more than that will fit on the screen, you can just arrow over and it'll go through all of them. So that's your reports. And I would love to hear why you guys might think that this is valuable. How can you use this in your email systems? What do you think?
To see whether what you're spending time on is actually getting through to people and making a difference.
Absolutely. That's one way. Anything else you guys think that could be helpful for?
Yeah, you could change some of your things. Maybe the people don't like those, and maybe
Exactly.
in place of that for them.
Absolutely. I'm going to pull that screen up one more time. If somebody showed up and undelivered, you can check out who it was and see maybe you had a typo in the email, right? And then let's see here. I had 50% of my emails open, 2.2 were replied to. So I know if somebody replied to me because that email came to me, but with this, I can see who actually opened that email and was looking through things or who clicked on something in my email. So I know when I hit that clicked one, these 5 people clicked on a link in my email and I can see that, oh, it tells me what the email subject was. So let's say you were sending something about the monthly neighborhood nurture. I could see that, Carol clicked on a link in monthly neighborhood nurture. So maybe she's looking to see what's going on in her area. Maybe it's time that I reach out to her to talk to her about the value of her house. Or if it's not where she lives, maybe she's thinking of moving, right? So that gives me some insights into what my clients are doing and a reason to reach out. Now that said, let me stop sharing here. You don't have to tell them that you saw that they opened your email or that they clicked on your link. You can just call them and say, hey, I was thinking of you, right? Have a conversation with them.
Hey, Amy, this is Robin. So I'm trying to kind of use this system. We used to use Contactually. And so, I would tag a lot of my, my VIP clients, my A clients. So what I'm sending them is more personalized, but I'm still sending it as a bulk email. So which method would you recommend if that's what I wanted to do? Would you recommend doing the campaign or the smart plan? Or does it matter?
You can do either. When you are building the email itself, you do have the option to use merge field. So it can say, hi, Amy, hi, Charles, hi, Amanda, right? So it's personalized to them. And then using those tags in your contacts is really what's going to be able to help you segment them. So you could make this buyer profile template and have the template for your Lombard buyers and have another template for your Naperville buyers. And then you could use the tags to send the correct template to the correct group of people so that your people that live 20 miles away from where your buyer is looking to purchase aren't getting the email that's saying, do you know somebody that this person might want to buy their house from, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Sherry, I see you asked a question. It says, does an admin have to have a pull down menu with agent names so she can send bulk emails from a specific agent? Sherry, good question. Okay, so if you guys have your Teams account set up with, how do I want to say this? There are multiple ways to set up your Teams account. So you have to have it set up to do this, but you do have the option to default your smart plan emails, not your bulk messaging ones yet, your smart plan emails to come from the Rainmaker or come from the contact assignee. So if you can, no matter which way it's set up, let's say you defaulted so everything comes from the Rainmaker or the team, with each smart plan, you will have the option to say, okay, this one I want to come from the assignee. So let's say Charles, Trisha, Amanda, and me are all on a team. I'm the Rainmaker. So if it's defaulted to say come from the Rainmaker, anything that Charles, Trisha, and Amanda's clients receive will say it's coming from me if that is the default. However, if I have that set up as come from assignee, any contact that's assigned to Charles, a contact that's assigned to Trisha, and a contact that's assigned to Amanda will say that the email is coming from them. So you have one email that goes out to all 4 people's contacts and it will be branded to and say it's coming from those specific people. So let me share my screen one more time. Oop, that's the wrong one. So for example, on the team, if you are using come from assignee, your team stuff will be set in place, but the buyer or the agent stuff at the bottom, if you have come from contact assignee, this will change based on who the contact is assigned to, but you only have to hit the send button once. Did that help answer your question? And then the reply to will go to the agent who sent it. Perfect. Okay. I think that answered the question. Anything else I can help you guys with? I know we're past 11. I want to be respectful of everybody's times, but I'm happy to go over something or answer any other questions. Okay, so what was your biggest thing you learned today? Christy said, thank you. What'd you guys learn?
I learned that you can keep better track. You can see the analytics on the smart plan. You can see analytics from different points of view, I guess.
Yes,
is the way I
yes.
want to say it.
And Charles said the same thing in the chat, which is great. I do want to let you guys know that if people are clicking on things, that should also show up in that contact timeline, depending on what it is that they're doing. So if they are clicking on links to specific properties that's linked to your app or your website, you'll be able to see that specific detail in the contact's timeline history as well. So you can see exactly what homes or neighborhoods they're looking at. So that's taking it even a step further. All right, who's going to implement something next week? Nobody? Just came to watch? Charles says he's implementing. Erica, great. Okay, so what do you guys want to send out? Sherry says the team is. What are you doing? Dina Furlow team is. I can't. Oh, sorry, Dina. I messed up your name. Dina Furlow. Can't talk. All right, perfect. Well, you guys feel free to add me. Oh, Erica said she's going to ask for reviews. That's a great idea. Feel free to add me to any of those. I love seeing what you guys are sending out. Next week, we're going to deviate from command. We're still going to do tech. We're going to have a special guest in, Ron Lavigny from Peak Digital Design, as a pro when it comes to Google profiles, Google business profiles. So he's going to show us how to set them up and how why they're advantageous to have and how they can help you get more eyes on your business. So that'll be same time, same place next week. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you guys. And remember, all the classes you can find on our E2P calendar. I will see you then. Take care.